First off, this is what they call a martini here in Albania. I don't even know what's in that guy. Thank you, brother. So, anyways, good evening. This is the 28th. This is the same day as they're doing all the No King stuff over in the States. And I thought that this would be a really good time to share with you the story of my mountain mishap. Now, mind you, I did write about it already. And I posted a couple videos, just to show what the roads were like up there. But I just kind of wanted to tell you what the hell happened. So last week, I think it was Monday, right? And I've been thinking for a long time about how cool it would be to rent a car, because rental cars are very inexpensive here, right? So I got this car for, my roommate, Vincent. He told me he knew a guy, so he did some phone calling, and he got me lined up for a car for 2 days that had, it was $25 a day. I was thrilled. I was like, yeah, $25 a day. So first thing I'm going to do is drive my ass either to Kosovo or Macedonia. And finally I decided I was going to go to Macedonia. So the day of the trip comes, Monday, the rental car guy, he comes, he brings the car to the house, right? It's nothing like renting a car in the States, where you go to the office and there's all this official stuff you go through and you show them all your documentation and they put it in the computer, all this kind of shit. No, none of that whatsoever. It was this guy, and he showed up at my apartment building, and some other guy followed him in a different car, and they just dropped the car up at my place, and they gave me this few papers. I never even signed them, by the way. I just, I was supposed to, but I never did. And I paid them cash for the 2 days worth. It was $50 for 2 days rent a car. And they took off. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. So, cause whatever, right? So, and I was immediately, as soon as they pulled up, I was crestfallen. I looked down. It's a goddamn stick shift. Motherfucking stick. I haven't driven a stick shift in almost 20 years, right? I can do it. I'm not particularly proficient at it, but I can do it. But I was pissed off. I hate driving a stick shift. And I knew I was going to be driving through the goddamn mountains, right? So, anyways, so I get this car, and I get my directions. I'm going to go to Macedonia. I'm going to go to this amphitheater, and I'm real excited because, that's Alexander the Great, ancient Greece, all this kind of shit, right? And it's only a 3-hour drive. 3-hour drive. I leave out the house at 10:30 in the morning. Maybe 11 is when I finally pull out, but it's probably more like 10:30, right? And I'm driving, and it's got me going down these, just winding all over the place, up in these mountains, just back and forth, nothing but curves and everything, and constantly shifting the goddamn gears, right? Because every time you go uphill, you got to shift down. And every time you go downhill, you got to shift up. And so you're just constantly shifting all the time. And all these sharp curves everywhere. There's no chance of just relaxing and cruising whatsoever. None. You're on high alert and functioning. I mean, I probably got a goddamn callus on my clutch foot from driving that goddamn thing, right? So anyways, so I'm going through all these things. And I'm using Waze for the navigation. And Waze gave me, one really confusing instruction. And I missed a turn, so Waze recalculated. Long story short, I spent hours, at least 2 hours. And I was driving down, it was a dirt road up through the mountains, but it wasn't technically I mean, technically it was a road, but it was one lane only. It was very rocky and uneven and jagged, and some places it looked like it was kind of washed out, and there wasn't any safety rails, because the edge of the road just went straight down this cliff, so you're like, if you take a wrong turn, you're falling down a mountain and dying, right? And it's just nothing but just bumps and rocks and everything. And so I'm taking this whole trip, and I mean miles and miles, and I'm going pretty much in second gear the whole time. Like, there was a couple times where I was able to speed up and go to third gear, but most of the time it was second gear, because I was having to go way uphill, number one. Number two, it was all kinds of loose stones and uneven everything, and if I went too fast, I was going to slide right off the road and fall down a mountain, right? And I don't know, it seems like every 20 minutes I'm hitting something, with this fucking rental car, right? And bumping into all kinds of shit, because it's horrible. And, a couple times I had to, like one time I tried to go over this bridge, but it was one lane, and this other car was, and I had to back up, and when I backed up, I hit something, it was just huge pain in the ass driving, and just these mountain, dirty, rugged roads, which in one way it was kind of cool because the scenery was amazing. It was beautiful. And I really, really wanted to get out and just walk around, because I was actually experiencing the real mountains, and I love the mountains, and so I love doing that. But I was really stressed out because I kept screwing up the rental car, and I was worried about time because I was lost and stressed out, so I didn't really take much time to enjoy myself. And I get all the way up this road after, I don't know, hour, something, and it's just getting worse and worse, less and less navigable, to the point where it's almost, you can't even take your car down. Mind you, this whole time, I'm driving a motherfucking Hyundai Accent, some little ass stick shift, right? And I was already pissed off because it cost me $50 to get me 3/4 of a tank of gas, and it was more than I expected. I was just totally irritable. So I get way, way far down this road through the mountains, just winding all over the place, trying not to die. And there's this herd of donkeys that's blocking the road. And there's these two guys that are dressed exactly like you would imagine a modern peasant would look like. One of them's an old guy, one of them's a young guy. They say, and they're like, nope, you can't go. The road's not even drivable past it. But they said it in non-English because there was a huge, nope. They didn't speak a word of English, and I didn't speak a word of Albanian. So the younger guy calls some lady up on the phone, probably a sister or a girlfriend or something, and she speaks very broken English, and sort of acts as a translator. And long story short, in order for me to get back to any place where there's concrete, I have to turn around and drive the entire way back that I came from. Right? So that whole dirt road adventure was pointless. I get all the way down, back to the road. Finally, I'm back on some concrete, and I'm still driving, winding all over the place. Pissed off about the stick shift part of it, driving through mountains. And I get to the border of Macedonia. That's where I'm trying to go, Macedonia. Wait in line, half hour. Finally, I get to the thing, and the border people, they're not going to let me go through because the rental car doesn't have proof of insurance. Something that any normal American would take for granted, right? You're doing business. The car that you're renting should be street legal, right? Should be street legal. Should have proof of insurance. No. So it doesn't have proof of insurance. They don't let me in. and they make me turn around. I got to loop around and go back into Albania now. And at the Albania border, they also do not want to let me in. For the same motherfucking reason. No proof of insurance. And there's two guys at the desk there. And one of them's typing in his computer, and he's getting on the phone with his boss, trying to figure out all kinds of shit, you know. And his other friend can just see on the look of my face that I'm 2 seconds from a nervous breakdown. I'm just... I tell him, I just want to go home. Please, I just want to go home. I told him everything that happened about the rental car and all that shit. And I'm just like, please let me go home. So while this other guy's typing on his shit, doing his stuff, the one dude just looks at me and he's like, just go. So I jump in the car, I haul ass home. Stay on concrete this time. But it's all through the mountains. Just driving crazy in that stick shift. I can finally get back home. It's like 8:30 at night. So I spent on an entire goddamn motherfucking day spending nothing but gas money and rental car money for nothing. I never did get to go to Macedonia. And I was so pissed. When they picked up the car on Wednesday, now the adventure happened on Monday, right? Wednesday I spent the whole day taking, I don't know, 6 or 7 trips back and forth to my friend's Holly's house, helping her move stuff with my roommate Vincent, who's a swell fellow, by the way. He's French. Very, very nice guy. Anyways. So, I get home, and I get bad news about my kitty cats. I'm just like, ah! Wednesday, the rental car guys are telling me, hey, you know, show me a picture of the car where one of the rocks I hit knocked some of the paint off. So I end up having to pay them 70 euros to fix that. So, anyways, I made it home safe and sound. None for the worse other than my wallet being a little dented. And that's my adventure in the mountains. Peace. Love you.